So yet another colour of Bhut Jolokia. This one is the mustard boot, and I haven't seen this one before in the flesh, as it were. I think it's a new one last year, growing out this year as well. So these are both Bhut Jolokia, the mustard variety, and they're both from Ajijoe. Okay, so let's have a look inside this one. And it smells very strongly of Bhut Jolokia. Kind of a shock. Yeah, it smells very, very strongly of a boot, and all the way down in here there is a ton of oil. I don't know if you can, and along the ribs down here there's a lot of oil, and let's see, doing a very good job. But there's a lot of oil down on there as well, on the placenta. There's very few seeds in here, but it does smell very, very strongly of a boot. That's that lovely normal boot, floral boot, very distinctive smell. Smells great. Alright, mustard Bhut Jolokia from Ajijoe. Hi, Nigel Carter here back again, sitting in the kitchen with Poulet, who's doing great. And today we have an unusual one, and one that I haven't had before or even seen before. This is the mustard Bhut Jolokia. This is a little bit smaller than the other one I had. But the other one was a little bit soft on the top, so I'm not going to eat that one whole. This is still a good sized pepper, and I think you saw in the preamble bit there that there's quite a few pockets of oil in this. So I initially thought it wasn't going to be all that hot, you know, like maybe like a peach boot or something like that, but from looking at all the oil deposits, it looks like it's going to be a little bit hotter than that. So without further ado, the mustard Bhut Jolokia. And there's no sweetness in there whatsoever, not the slightest bit. Tastes like a boot. Hey. Tastes like a boot, but it's very much a grass green undercurrent to it, which isn't too surprising. But it's pretty hot. Come on now. But it's pretty hot. It's easily as hot as a yellow boot, maybe a little bit hotter. But the flavour is very grassy, but it has that distinctive boot flavour as well. And at the moment it's frying the inside of my mouth. It's all over the inside of my mouth, roof of my mouth, tongue, underneath my tongue. That's really quite hot. It has that boot-like burn, which is a reasonably aggressive kind of burn. Well, I guess it's not really a chinense, but it kind of is. And it's still going up. Yeah, this is as hot as many red boots I've had. This is a hot pot. Oh. As I say, the flavour is very muted. Greenness of the pod. It doesn't taste at all like the yellow one. heat's still going up. This is hot. Yeah, it's really settled on my tongue now. It's really frying my tongue. Yeah, I've got no flavour left now. It's definitely scoured the flavour off my tongue. There's a little bit in the back of my throat as well. It's giving me a bit of a tickle back there. But it very much has the Bhut flavour, the standard Bhut flavour, but it has very little fruitiness, no sweetness, and has a sort of a grassy green flavour, if you like, along with the Bhut flavour. It's actually nice. I wasn't sure whether I liked it to start with, but excuse me, I think that would be a good one for cooking with, because it still has the Bhut flavour, but it's not going to add anything else other than the heat, of course. And it's still on the way up. This is a real burner. Wow, making me cry. Oh, that's good. That's a good way to start the day. I'm not sweating very much, but I'm crying. And it's really caning my tongue now, and the back of my throat's starting to hurt too. I think it's just about starting to peak now. It's just levelling off. Wow, that's a lot hotter than I expected. That's pretty hot. Because there's no fruitiness really, and there's no sweetness to it. It has a very, very clean flavour for a Bhut. Bhuts tend to be lots of aromatics and side flavours and under flavours, and can be a bit much sometimes, and that doesn't have that. It has a very clean Bhut flavour and is screaming hot. Yeah, that's Red Bhut hot. That's as hot as any Red Bhut I've ever had. That really hurts. I'm starting to sweat now. I'm still crying as well. I'm just starting to salivate a great deal. Yeah, it's peaked now. It's just on the other side, on the way down. That's a lot hotter than I expected. It really is. That wasn't such a big pod either. A lot of oil deposits in there. Back of my throat's very sore now. All my tongue is just scoured clean. It's very hot. But it seems to be going into the back of my throat and sitting there now. Definitely got a little bit of an endorphin rush going too. Didn't expect that either. Starting to feel a bit lightheaded. Very tingly in my fingers, my toes. Every time I swallow, I get an increase in the heat in the back of my throat that really hurts. I've managed to get some across this eye too, so across my face, so I'll wear that for the next hour or so. Whew, that's a scorcher. Good grief. Everything's on the way down now. The heat's going down, the pain's going down. It's still sitting in the back of my throat, reminding me how hot it was. Well, that wakes you up in the morning. Good grief, that's a great way to wake up. Just stopped crying now, but I'm still sweating. Well, there you go. Another colour of the Bhut. the mustard boot, and that's a hot one. That's as hot as any Red Bhut I've ever had. It's really quite hot. I don't know how they vary. It's the first one I've ever had. But yeah, very clean, much cleaner boot flavour than most. As I say, it doesn't have those aromatics and those side flavours that can be a little off-putting sometimes. That's just straight ahead boot flavour and a ton of heat. Very unexpected. I like that much more than I thought I would. Alright, so that was the mustard Bhut Jolokia from Ajijoe. And this is Nigel Carter nursing his wounds. And I'll be back later to do some more reviews. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later.